parents face. The truth is, kids just don't want to go to bed at night sometimes. Some do, some don't. But joining us with tips on how you can get your kids to go to bed and to stay there, clinical psychologist Elaine Ducharme. Is it a generational thing? Are kids supposed to stay up later these days? Why are kids fighting bed so much?
You know, that's really a good question, Seth, because I don't think it's a generational thing in the sense that they're supposed to stay up late. I think all parents have known that a good bedtime routine was important, but I think a lot of parents sometimes are just so tired from working a job outside of the home. By the time they get to bed, they're tired, they are willing to give in more. And I think we have a culture that says we don't want our kids to be upset.
That's true, yeah. Everybody wants to coddle and keep their kids happy. Tough love can go a long way sometimes.
It really can, and if you set standards pretty quickly, kids get it, and then everybody's happier.
You know, it's funny, kids, I have pets, so I understand how this works, but they love a structure, you know what I mean? If you can provide them that, and they'll be happy in that, even if it's not the best solution for them necessarily.
Absolutely, and the problem here is that not only do we have this issue with kids, we also have it with pets. I have families where the families can't get the kids or the pets to go to sleep without whining and crying.
Well, another similarity between the kids and the pets, both of them want to be in your bed. They want to be in the parents' bed. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
This is a very bad thing.
Very bad. Okay.
Very bad. This is the one thing in my practice that I say to parents, do not do. Because once the kids start sleeping in your bed, number one, they don't get used to soothing themselves. Number two, you lose the ability to have any intimacy with your partner.
That is true.
And nobody sleeps very well at that point. And the dogs, you know.
I was going to say, downside with that, my dog keeps stretching out on the bed, then I don't have anywhere to sleep.
Exactly. We at one point experimented and let my dog on the bed, and the entire night he climbed all over us. That was the end of the dog on the bed.
It's reckless. I hate it.
Yeah.
So we have some tips to get the kids to bed on time and well. The first one, establish a bedtime routine.
Exactly. First of all, establish the bedtime, and then have a routine so that you decide a bath, brush your teeth, get into bed with a story, maybe a little bit of a back rub and a snuggle, a kiss goodnight, and then good night and leave.
Now, night lights, pro or con?
Perfectly fine. Okay. No problem with a night light. A lot of kids like having a closet light on or a night light on. There's some really cute ones. Door opener shut is another one that parents struggle with. Doesn't matter. One of the nice things is if parents early on remember they don't need to be quiet around their kids will be much better sleepers. So even if the kids want the door open, you don't have to worry that you have to tiptoe, because once you're tiptoeing around the house, you're setting your child up to have difficulty sleeping.
That's a really good point. Now, another thing to keep in mind, it's one thing to set a routine. You know, the parents talk and they say, this is what we're going to do.
Right.
It's another thing, it's an important thing to tell your kids about it.
Absolutely. If you're making a change, tell your children, this is what we're going to be doing. If they're probably going to fight you and say, oh, I don't want to, I can't, you can say, look, we're going to give you a reward. It's, you know, maybe you're 6 years old now, or you're 5, you're starting kindergarten, use some sort of a milestone. And every night that you stay in your bed and you go to sleep the way you're supposed to, you'll get a sticker. And at the end of a week, what reward would you like to earn? And at the end of 2 weeks, you can have a slightly bigger reward. They don't have to be expensive. It could be a movie or lunch with mommy or daddy. But if you do that for a solid 2 weeks, Seth, almost always the children are settled in their beds and they're staying there all night.
Now, Elaine, your last tip, let's say it's nighttime. Maybe it's not necessarily bedtime yet, but the kids, they want to come into the room, to the parents' room to hang out. What do you say in that situation?
Well, if they're just hanging out before bed, that's not a problem. Or even on the weekend, if they're coming in kind of around 6:30 in the morning, and everybody's kind of snuggling a little bit, that's fine. It's the middle of the night when the kid comes into your room, and some parents say to me, I didn't even know they were in my room. Well, frankly, I would like to know who's climbing in and out of my bed. So that's kind of important for me.
That's true, yeah. You want to keep it count. You want to know at all times who's in what bed.
Who's in my bed, right? Yeah. So I say to parents, just get up and calmly walk them back to their room. And parents say, oh, I was so tired. I say, take turns. Let one parent do it one night. And if you have to, sit on the floor of their room for a little while, or in a chair, just until they're settled down, and then go back to your room. If you keep doing this, truly, again, another 2 weeks, you can use a reward system. They will get used to staying in their bed, and they'll sleep better, and so will you. So really, 2 weeks of this, and being able to tolerate your kids crying and whining. But if you can hold firm, remember, you're the parent. You should be the winner in this one. And in 2 weeks, it'll be done.
Thank you so much, Elaine. I hope my dog's watching because he's in for a rude awakening. Okay. And if you want these tips and more, they're online, mymassappeal.com.